Welcome back to my channel. My name is Bodhi, and it's been a little while since I have sat down to have a little, I don't know if you can call it like a spiritual tea talk or something like that of that nature, but I have just simple ginger tea because I just ate my lunch actually like 30 minutes ago. But this ginger tea will stimulate my digestive fire, help my gut by being able to fully process the food I just ate, and then hopefully eliminate it properly. I said that funny. The yoga room is a vibe right now. The sun's coming through. The outside is a little bit deceiving because it looks warm, but it's actually like frigid still and breezy, like a cold breeze, and the sun is just like, hey, come outside and then let me get your nip at your fingers because it's actually cold outside. I'm just like, anyways, let me get to the point here. I've got my tea ready to go. Let's vibe and talk about gut health. I feel like gut health is kind of becoming a trending topic, and of course, I'm not the only person on YouTube who talks about like Ayurveda and stuff like that, but I'm just gonna chime in because it's something I am so passionate about. Ayurveda is something that I have come across in the last, I want to say it's now 8 months. I took my 50-hour like basics Ayurveda training back in June, and it just has changed my life. It's helped me to understand so much about myself, about my health, and about our way our health works, even down to our minds, our habits, and things that actually will intentionally like help bring us back into harmony, into balance, into the state of sattva, of peace. And there's so much that we do in society that aggravates our bodies, the physical elements of our bodies that cause these flares, which the toxins in the body eventually build up to disease. And that is what Ayurveda is here for. Ayurveda is preventative, and it's like long-term preventative care for your health with the utmost intention, awareness of how body will probably react to certain foods and things of that nature. So, with that being said, real quick, what is Ayurveda? Ayus means life and Veda means knowledge. So Ayurveda's life knowledge. This information came to us from the 7 rishis. They're the Vedic seers, spiritual seekers, gain this information meant to be spread across to just all of humanity. Stuff that Ayurveda has been talking about for millennia now, that it's just like mind-blowing to me. So that is why I love the understanding of Ayurveda, and I'm going to try my best to pass on this understanding and leave resources in the description box below for you guys to also check out if you want to deepen your understanding of Ayurveda. In Ayurveda, there are 5 grand elements, and the 5 elements are air, ether, fire, water, and earth. And there are the physical gross humors of our bodies are made up of these elements, and a combination of these elements make up what is called the doshas, constitution. It's like the dominant foundation of the gross body, not gross and gross, but like the physical body. And there's 3 doshas. It is vata, pitta, kapha. Vata is a combination of air and ether. Pitta is a combination of fire and water. Kapha is a combination of water and earth. And all 3 of these doshas they're all, around, found in nature. They have their spiritual symbolism. They have their physical, obvious elements. And all these elements are in our bodies because it makes sense that we are from earth, and so that the earth elements are in us. So, Ayurveda, like when you take the dosha test or quiz, find out your constitution, which I will leave a link to Banyan Botanicals. You can take the dosha quiz, you can find out what your constitution and your aggravation is, and they recommend This is not sponsored, by the way. I just love this website. They recommend, like, they'll have blogs that can show you lifestyle changes, food changes, herbal supplements it recommends, just the whole nine to just overall treat your well-being. And this website's great. So I'll leave that in the link below as a resource. And you find out your dosha, your constitution, and you find out what's aggravated. This is when you can start to address the physical symptoms in your body that are actual symptoms of, like, mega early to building stages that lead to disease. And Ayurveda's goal is to prevent the manifestation of disease in the body by taking care of just the elements and calming down the dosha, whichever one is, like, aggravated or most active. And gut health is huge in Ayurveda because they address gut health as the Agni. Agni means digestive fire, and another term I'll use a lot is called Ama. Ama is toxins in the body. So there are different levels of Agni in the body according to your possible aggravation, and just to sum it up, there is really high Agni, high digestive fire. You're always having diarrhea that runs, and you can't hold food in or nutrients like a little after you eat. And then there's variable digestive fire where it looks like pretty much irritable bowel syndrome, like IBS, and constipation too. And then there's low digestive fire, which is like sticky, slow, incomplete poos, and you just feel stuffed up. I feel like you poop, but you still feel stuffed. And as I just explained too, of that, having a high digestive fire tends to be a pitta aggravation. Having a variable digestive fire tends to be a vata aggravation. Having a low digestive fire tends to be a kapha aggravation. There are ways to balance out the digestive fire. The digestive fire, the sacred fire, the Agni within our physical body and our spiritual bodies. Like, this helps bring about an internal and external radiance, build up ojas, which is good health, and just get an easy flow of prana in the body. So those are important factors in Ayurveda, prana, tejas, and ojas. And you have to start building ojas to really build the tejas to build that pranic flow. And I'm just gonna throw some tips for according to the variations of digestive fire for your gut. And also, I should mention too, like, we get toxins in our bodies from undigested food, so improper digestion, improper food and fuel for the body, and even to the portions and just everything like that. Like, pretty much the way society eats is actually, like, but it's ass backwards, and it's like no wonder so many of us are sick. Like, we get sick and we're just constantly leaning on medicine just to help the symptom, but not actually get to the root cause of the problem. And that is what Ayurveda does. Ayurveda gets to the root of the problem. So, how are we gonna balance out the digestive fire? First of all, like I just said, I explained how the elimination process can look according to per digestive fire. So one thing you can do is, like, keep track of your poop, pretty much. Like, did you poop today? Or do you poop every other day? Or do you poop a lot? Or do you have slow poops? And Ayurveda says a healthy elimination process is pretty much twice a day, like once in the morning. It's like you have to train your body for this. It takes a while. The second time in the evening, probably after dinner. And signs your digestive fire is going, it's good, it's in balance, it's coming into balance. And yeah, so that is just like a foundation. Like, you think of that, and for the most part, I think most people don't poop twice a day. Some people don't poop every day, and we need the elimination to get rid of the toxins in the body, obviously, so that the toxins don't build up in parts of our body according to constitution, and disease can manifest eventually. But you want to treat it now while it's like the poop really is like the first sign of like aggravation too in the body. It's crazy how our bodies speak to us, and Ayurveda is like, hey, you need to change your habits a little bit. For low digestive fire, if you have those slow sticky poops, that is known as a kapha aggravation imbalance. What you'll really want, so a guideline for Ayurveda is that breakfast should not be a big meal, like at all. Like it shouldn't be this huge meal. It should really be something simple, a nice, healthy, easily digestible meal with ginger tea. And for lunch, like lunch and for all doshas, it's like that should be where you eat your biggest meal. And for kapha, you need a lighter meal, but with a lot of fiber and a lot of greens and stuff like that. And it's like typically foods that you might not like are actually what's going to balance you out. And that's the funny part. Ayurveda says like attract likes, opposites balance. So you have to do the opposite of what you would normally go for or eat. In fact, kapha is the dosha that can stand to be vegan. Like just overnight. Like, because we're already so dense, you need lighter meals to get through the density, to reset the digestive fire. Ginger tea in between meals, chewing on fennel seeds before meals helps stimulate digestive fire. Tongue scraping in the morning, warm water, but not to drink too much water because water is a dominant element in kapha and we tend to retain water. Like, I tend to have I feel like just I'm naturally pretty hydrated for the most part. You can just tell by like the color of your pee. And to exercise is to stimulate too. So for kapha, like exercising stimulates the digestive system. You're wanting to build that fire up, basically. You just need constant stimulation, pretty much. The opposite of being sedentary, heavy, dull, dense. Kapha, low digestive fire, you need to raise it up, stimulate the digestive fire. And then for the variable digestive fire, which is the vata aggravation, which for a lot of people looks like just IBS. Like IBS is a vata aggravation. So my camera died and I didn't realize it died, so I rambled on for I don't know how long, and then I looked around and the screen was black and I was like, cool. So I have another cup of tea, but this one is to boost my brain, stimulate my brain a little bit. Vata people need warmth for their digestive system, like warm spices, turmeric, ginger, the whole nine, cinnamon, and like to have a routine with food, because Vata people tend to be the people to skip meals more often, and then they get irritable and like cranky and stuff like that. So for Vata dosha people to come back into balance, to raise their digestive fire, it's better for them to have that routine. So it's kind of like they need a routine. They need to just like slow down, ground themselves, and eat grounding foods, and it'll kind of ground the nervous system, like the the digestive system, that digestive fire with the spices, because they also get cold. So like Kapha and Vata tend to be the two doshas that get cool, have cold hands and feet. And when you have like a proper digestion and you're eating properly, I've experienced this, like more frequently as of recent, but when I eat proper food, like for my body, I feel my hands and my feet tingle with warmth. My body is like, yes, we're responding to this. Like, this is right. Like, it is pretty cool stuff. And then pitta pacifying people they're the only dosha that can stand to actually take cooler foods and like cold water and stuff, because the digestive fire is too high. They aren't able to hold on to nutrients, and their elimination's too fast, so they just need to slow down. And it's interesting how like our digestive systems can also be digestive system can be a reflection of like how we live our lives as well too. So like Vata people are all over the place, so they need to come and ground their body, ground the digestive fire, warm it up, and actually have a routine so that the elimination process isn't so sporadic. And then Pitta dosha people also, they can experience burnout because they have that fire element in their like personalities and their bodies and in their minds and stuff like that. So they need to cool down and have more restorative days. And then Kapha dosha people are sedentary and dull, and the poops are just like sticky or whatever, so they need movement to stimulate. and just having this understanding of like constitution, what's aggravated and what you need, helps to just bring more intention into your daily life, like what you eat. Like there's a food list for each dosha, like what's pacifying. It's wild. Ayurveda is just like opening up a whole world, and I just wanted to kind of sit down and make this video about Ayurveda's take on like gut health and how it varies and what it looks like when it's imbalanced and how to balance it out. And it's like, it sounds oversimplified because, like, I guess you could say medically there's a lot more terms that could go into describing this sort of thing, but it makes more sense to me to use the elements, because the elements have their qualities and the qualities are in our bodies, and it's just like, it sounds almost too simple, but like it's a whole discipline at the same time, and it's just important too, like, you know, preventative care, like do the work now and like save yourself from the hospital bill later. So like, it is just worth digging into, looking into, understanding your body, understanding the signs, the subtle signs that your body is out of balance, more than just like until you feel sick or whatever and then disease is manifested. But like, you know, look at your poop, pay attention to your poops. And probably your nervous system too, you know, and just like the body is connected to the mind, and the mind reflects our current state. I think that's prakriti. It's like the current state of your constitution, and vrikruti is like, I need a refresher, but it's one of those terms. And yeah, I'm sorry, I came back, I did like, we started doing laundry, we went out for a walk, out to a waterfall because it doesn't feel terrible outside, so like now I'm just like in a different energy isn't quite the same, but I was like, I need to commit to finish this video because the camera cut me off, and it's fine. But I hope this made sense, and I hope this opens up curiosity to explore the depths of Ayurveda, and Ayurveda with yoga as well, if you're a yoga practitioner. And yeah, thank you for tuning into this video, and tune in next week for my next vlog, and I will see you guys then. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.